got some. I ain't getting none either. Okay.
Might come up a little late.
In 2001, a real-world exercise tested the emergency response to a bioterror attack on the continental United States. The operation was called Dark Winter. Within just a few days, simulation spiraled out of control. The operation predicted a rapid breakdown in essential institutions, civil disorder, and massive civilian casualties. Dark Winter has revealed how vulnerable we've become. Our lifestyle, our security, our safety depends on a delicate and unstable economy. We've created a system so complicated that we no longer understand how to control it. Oil, power, shipping, transport. We live in a complex world. And the more complex it gets, the more fragile it becomes. The system is built on a global supply chain that gets things where they're needed, just in time. We've created a house of cards. Remove just one, and everything falls apart. And what's fueling the system?
Money. Americans can spend $90 billion in a single day of shopping. Last year, 200 million people swarmed their local stores on November 23rd. We call that day Black Friday. Did you know that a flu virus can survive on the surface of a banknote for up to 17 days? One day there will be a pandemic. It could begin during the crush of Black Friday sales. A pathogen will jump from tainted banknotes to human skin, onto food, toys, children, and loved ones. By the time patient zero feels the first sore throat, millions of people will already be infected. From this point, the breakdown will happen fast.
Day one, hospitals will reach capacity. Panic will strike. Day two, quarantine zones will be established. Resources will be rationed. Transport will go into lockdown. Day three, international trade will stop. The oil will dry up. The stock market will collapse. Day four, the power will fail. The shelves will be empty. The taps will run dry. And once hunger and despair take hold, people will do anything for survival. By day 5, everyone will be a potential threat.
What will it take to save what remains?
So
right, Shalom, Shalom. We the brothers of Great Millstone, the church here in Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kampadash. Yeah, the ancient Hebrew tongue, that would be the correct name of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit. Also, would like to give double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the brothers out there laboring in His work, continually pushing out this gospel in our true faith. As sincerity, and as always, you believers out there, the Akim, as well as the Aqua that subscribe to this truth as well. So yeah, we back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, and the theme, as always, is going to be prophecy, man. If we about to go into a very dark time in prophecy, okay? See, what's going to be found out is that this is not a game. This is not a joke, okay? A lot of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, being who you are, all right, you take everything lightly, man. A lot of jakes, they believe that this is just another phase in black culture. You associate and aligning yourself with another trend. It's all about trending topics, all right? And that's how you approach this truth, man. But what you're going to come to find out, this serious business, what we have been involved in is the Lord pretty much giving you a glimpse into some of His most intimate, intense plans and purposes concerning this place, America, the overthrow of the wicked, the so-called white man, and the judgment that's prepared for Israel, man. Hey, there's a time that's coined, by the scriptures as the time of Jacob's trouble, all right? And we about to go into that time. That's why Yahweh Shai, you know what? Let's start off with that, Matthew the 24th chapter. You know what? Let's jump up. We'll build up. Let's jump up. You know where to start. We're going to jump up and go into this. All right? Because, again, we're in very heavy times, man. And everything is seasonal. Matter of fact, before you get there, give me Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, whoever can get it first. Hey, everything's seasonal with Yahweh Shema Shai. Yeah, there's a time for mirth. There's a time to kick it. There's a time, to rejoice, if you will. But there's also a time to mourn. That's a part of the layout with Yahweh Shema Shai, man. There's a time to mourn. There's a time to have a sobering, a solemn approach. And that's the time we in. We ain't in the time of you celebrating the fact that you're Israel. Even though that's all well and good and fine, because, being numbered amongst the children of Israel, now you have hope that you might be numbered amongst the Lord's elect, right? Being the chosen nation of Yahweh Shema Shai. But also the flip side, the duality of it, is when the time of the Lord's judgment. And pursuing the prophecy, judgment will begin at the house of Israel, man. All right, so yeah, let's get that.
God, Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything, there's a season.
See, to everything, there's a what?
A season.
A season. See, a season. You have the fall, all right? You have the winter, you have summer, you have spring, which all the seasons, they actually have an overtone to it. And we're going to show you that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. When you consider the summer, the spring, it's a more joyous time. Look, when you go into the fall and the winter, that it's not as joyous, man. You tend to sleep more. Oh, that's why you have like certain animals, they actually hibernate through the winter, man. There's a reason behind that, okay? Because in the winter, the winter don't promote life. You know what the proof of that? You walk out of your house, the same bush that was, you can hear the sound of bees humming and birds chirping. You see flowers, you smell flowers. Well, in the winter, that same bush is bare. It's actually dead. It's not producing, man. So really, the winter symbolizes death. The winter symbolizes when judgment come down, man. Right? And, you had the build up to the winter. You got the fall. That's why in the scriptures it tells you how there will be a falling away first. That's the seasons, man. Hey, before we actually came into Esau's reign, the dark, damp winter, we fell off. It was the fall. That's why Yahweh Shai always considered the time of the kingdom and the destruction is compared to the summer. And that's also in Matthew 24th chapter. Right? So let's read this again.
Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything
everything is seasonal. See, everything is seasonal. Matter of fact, give me we're gonna go back there. I think it's that Matthew 16.
Time.
Get that real quick.
This ain't Matthew.
See, we have been somewhat of a spiritual meteorologist. We know the season that we're in. Hey, you know what it's like dealing with Jake? It's like the dead winter, and you see a motherfucker walking around with a halter top or some crazy shit. Nigga got some shorts, sandals. You got the Hawaiian style short, the palm trees on it, man. This shit off. It's freezing out here, man. You see snow, the snow flurries. There's a nigga in a white beater. You gonna be like, this dude, he don't know what season he in, man. That's what it is right now. We in the deep, dark winter. We about to go into the dark winter, man. Oh, you think it's a coincidence Joe Biden said that? That was the spirit of Yahweh Shai, man. Now the scriptures is making a lot more sense. And it tells you how, what's that, Proverbs, the 4th chapter? Like the 18th verse, where it say, this truth is like a path that shines brighter and brighter into the perfect day. Everything's making more and more sense now. So when Yahweh Shai made the statement, pray that your flight be not in the winter, how come all of a sudden you got this talk of a dark winter? Hey, this could very well be that winter, man. I'm just saying, hey, everything is lining up. We got the elections, what's that, next week? Yep. And this information out there, which Lord, it's so much information right now. Yeah. It's so much stuff ready. We got a lot of evidence to bring out. But the Spirit allow, we can go into the information. It's reports where you got these different governors, officials. They anticipating just bringing out the National Guard and the military to oversee the elections, man.
Is it?
So we going into that time. See? Yep, like the elder said, we pray that this is it, man. We pray that this is that season where everything fall apart. And this is what separates this belief system from any other system, man. What we have subscribed to. You know, anything else, you need things to go right. The Black Panther Party, they needed things to go right. Black consciousness, whomever, they need things we need everything to go right. We need you to have your voting rights. We need, no, over here, we need everything to go off the track, man. Go ahead.
God, this St. Matthew 16:1. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign.
Yeah, they wanted the Lord to show them a sign. Just like today, you have niggas come into this arena, and they might ask a question like when we was watching the but you know, somebody come on the coming board and say some slick shit. They really trying to see what power, what authority do you guys have? Show me what authority. Guess what? The signs and wonders is enough, man. You know, the mere fact that you got vaccinations ready to be implemented, that's all the sign you need, right? Yep, go ahead.
It says, he answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, it will be foul water today, for the sky is red and large. So
our Lord is giving you tangible things where our people come to the conclusion they diagnose certain situations on a carnal level, right? So they say, oh man, you know, you see the storm, you see the clouds, it's going to rain, certainly, or it's going to be a nice day. I don't see a cloud in the sky. That's your diagnosis from a carnal perspective, right? Go ahead.
He said, oh, you hypocrites.
So the Lord said they hypocrites for that. Why?
You can discern the face of the sky, but can you not discern the signs of the times?
But can you not discern the signs of the times? See that? So right now, the only group, the only council, if you will, that's pushing forth prophecy and the ability to anticipate what's coming down the pipe is Great Millstone. Because certainly if you sincere and you amongst this hearing, you know for sure that what you see brewing, right, clearly tell you that we in those times. This is those times that our Lord Yahweh Shai spoke about. This is the time the prophets spoke about of old. This is the time the prophets that you see now. This is that time. You got something?
A quick precept. Second Ezra 9 and verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world had the beginning and the end.
A lot of key words jump out right there. One is all. Like it's all that's made in the world. America falls under that banner. This system that we are under, that falls under that category of all. There was a time where it was a season where America was erected, and there's a season where America is going to pass away. Go ahead. And it's the same with seasons. Winter. The winter, it don't stay winter all year round. Eventually, you put up the coats and you bring out the shorts. And the wife beaters, man. Why? Because the seasons change. See? Go ahead, up.
It says, for like it's all that is made in the world hath the beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs.
And endings and effects and signs. And that's the same with the changing of seasons. You about to go into the spring, there's effects and signs to let you know. You don't really technically need a damn weatherman to tell you you're going into the spring. You can see the Lord gives you signs and wonders, effects and signs. So it's no different with the changing of kingdoms. Matter of fact, real quick, let's prove that real quick. You know what I want? Let's get that real quick.
Yeah, this is Book of Daniel, chapter 2.
See, what you're witnessing right now is a hard transition of power. And it's not going to be smooth. The so-called white man being moved and taken out of that exalted state, that's going to be a rough transition, man. And it's going to be signs. The Lord's going to set up signs to show you that we're in that transition. And again, as we go into this winter, this physical winter, I believe through the Spirit, something is about to really jump off, man. As you see right now, you got the demonization going again. Plenty of brothers touched on it. What's going on in Philadelphia. They go Amalek bitch ass again. Just like the scriptures say, you'll find him there first. Every time this nigga come up, you see a nigga in a yarmulke, man, somewhere, you know? So that's a part of the season change. Oh shit, we going into the season. This nigga out. So you see all of a sudden, there go that momentum again. Right? The demonization of the prophets, the demonization of the men of the Lord. Okay, the persecution of the poor. Those are all signs of what season we in. See, go ahead, up.
This is Daniel 2:20. Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of the Most High forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changed the times and the seasons.
See, he changed the times and the seasons. Go ahead.
He removed kings and set up kings.
Yeah, so you see what a removal and setting up of kings is in the same breath with the changing of times and seasons. So the changing of times and seasons is actually parallel with the removal of kingdoms. And what's the moral of the story there? It never stays the same. It's just like the seasons change, the kingdoms change. So you think the so-called white man is going to reign forever? It's going to be this dark, gloomy, damp winter? No, eventually the summer is coming. All right? So it's everything about realms. So on the earthly realm, we about to go into this, we actually about to go into the winter. So you see what, it ain't no coincidence. Everything built up to the winter now. We at the edge of our seat, right at winter. That's why Yahushua words are powerful, man. Okay, you got something? All right, come on. Let's go back.
Back Ecclesiastes 3:1. It said, to everything there is a season.
See, so to everything there's a season. There was a season for us to fall out of power, to go into obscurity, to lose our way, all right? Which was technically the fall, where we fell off, the falling away from. You think that's a coincidence? Then right before the winter, you got the fall, man. Then you had a season where the so-called white man came into power, which is actually the winter. Okay? And we're going to, matter of fact, before we, you know what? Let's kind of go there real quick. Let's go into the little information.
Okay, God.
Let's get that information you got. And we're going to show you through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shema Shah, how the winter and the overtone of winter, the very essence of winter, symbolizes death, man. When the last time you was excited about the winter? Now, you know, you got this demonic, you got Saturnella, you got, you know, all this demonic shit that happened in the winter, right? But, you know, they condition your mind to be excited about Christmas or some shit. You can throw all that out the window now, man. Let's get realistic now. When the last time you was excited about the cold months? You are not, man. You want to lay down, you want to go to sleep, man. They got the daylight saving time, which next week they pushing the hour back. So what that do? That conditions you to lay it down. You know, you don't have that oomph, if you will, to go out and enjoy it versus the spring and the summer. The days are longer. The light is out. You feel compelled to get out and enjoy it. That's not the case in the winter. We're going to bring up a little information to support that. Go ahead, Up.
So this is seasonal affective disorder.
Follow us on this one. Read this again.
Seasonal affective disorder, sad.
Now, we just read the scriptures where there's a time and a season for every purpose under the heaven, man. So now you have these scientists that came up with this. It's diagnosed. You got people that's diagnosed with this disorder. And the acronym is SAD, man. SAD. Okay? SAD. And let's read what the acronym stands for again.
It says seasonal affective disorder.
So in the winter, you tend to be more sad. You're not upbeat in the winter. If you're spiritual, you see what that's going into, man. That's going into the reign of the so-called white man. Give me Proverbs 29 real quick. You know what? We'll go right there after that. Go ahead.
Okay, this is the book of Proverbs 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
See, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Just like the seasons. Hold that and go to Matthew 24. And also, you want to get wisdom of Solomon? Oh, that's Song of Solomon. That's spirit. Go ahead and get that. That's spirit.
This is Song of Solomon 2:11. It says, "For lo, the winter is past."
Yep, there's going to be a time where. Oh, when you read First John 2, do it not say this world passeth away? Hey, don't last. Winter don't stay. It don't stay winter forever. And I'm gonna say something, man. You got to thank Yahweh Shema Shah for giving you the foresight, man, to know that this is not a perpetual state. Imagine that you trapped. Oh, it's a movie. I remember an old movie. I don't know if y'all ever watched. It's called Groundhog Day. With this motherfucker trapped in on one day, man. Y'all, you gotta check it out. Yeah, motherfucker trapped in one day. It was Groundhog Day. Every day he wake up is Groundhog Day, man. Which was the winter. He was fucked up. It fucked his mind up, man. So that's the same in the spirit of what's happening now. Our people feel that they're gonna be trapped in the winter forever. You know, you're gonna always have to lock. Oh, you got this nigga who got shot down by the cops. That's the story of Jake, man. You have a couple of months. You have 1 month, the shortest month in the year, to celebrate Martin Luther King, Black. What they call it? I really forgot this shit. Set the spirit, man. Black History Month. Nobody talking about that shit no more, man. But it's like that's the only time you got to reflect on your people. But it's really, it show you how Esau is really the devil. Who, man, this show you this man is the deceiver. A motherfucker can finesse you to celebrate them kicking your ass. Here it is, you celebrating them kicking your ass. You go, you sit back and you look in retrospect of how you was washed. I mean, blow with the water, and the dog was sick on you. You got to go back and revisit that shit.
Like nigga, a dude get dunked on and shit. You don't watch the highlights of you getting dunked on and shit. That's embarrassing, man.
Yeah. Jake, that's spiritual. You being posterized. You got posterized by Esau. Now you forced to. You right. Yeah, nigga, you got on your robe and your condo watching when you got dunked on back to back, man. That's what Esau has done to you, man.
That's it.
See? Go ahead, huh?
God, it says,
but we're in the time. See what I may say. The spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai is on us. This is the comfort. The Lord is comforting us over all this duration of time where this man has wreaked havoc on us and had his way with us. The Lord is now finally giving us that proverbial light at the end of the tunnel. He's giving us the information needed where we can come to the conclusion that, you know what? The winter is passing. You know, been a bomber coat, been damn Timberlands all year, man. You eventually gonna be able to unwind and enjoy it. Yeah. Why? Because the summer is not. Matter of fact, did you get that? Give me that real quick, and we're gonna go back here.
Okay. This is the book of Matthew 24 and verse 32. Now learn a parable of the fig tree.
Yeah, it's Mike Tyson celebrating when he got knocked out, man. You know, this is David, so you got to come in out. Yeah, today we're gonna watch the video of you get knocked out. See, that show you how much this devil is the deceiver, man. This man ran circles around you and forced you into celebrating him kicking your ass. Go ahead,
Okay, this is Matthew 24, verse 32. Now learn a parable of the fig tree when his branches yet tender and pull forth leaves.
Again, those tangible things, you don't really technically need a meteorologist to tell you that we're going into the spring or summer. You see certain signs and effects. Oh, we just read that in 2nd Ezra. The effects and signs, and on a physical level, right? What's the effects and signs? You begin to see the buds, budding forth, the trees, the branches, the flowers blooming. You hear the sound of bees humming, where it was a time. Now this devil, now the damn bees extinct for the most part, but you hear birds chirping, you know, right? So that's the signs that's shown on the physical level that we're going into the spring and summer. Well, on the spiritual level, the Lord gives you signs as well. That's why we read in Matthew the 16th chapter. You hypocrites, you can discern the signs of the sky, but you can't discern the signs of the times, man. You see that this devil is poised. He's beginning to set the stage to wage war against you. Right? Go ahead,
Con. It says, and put up forth leaves, you know that summer is not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when you see, that's Isaiah 55.
That's it.
My word come down as the rain and it begin to bud forth. So you start seeing things. Now you know the summer, the when is not.
The summer is not.
The summer is not. Why is this the talk? Why is that the words used? Because we read in Daniel the 2nd chapter that the removal of kings is in the same breath with the changing of the seasons, man. So the summer is a hard contrast, if you will, from the winter, man. Those are dealing with the two extremes, the two rulerships. So let's go back to Proverbs 29.
Con. Proverbs 29 verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
It says, when the righteous are in authority.
See, when the righteous are in authority, go ahead.
The people rejoice.
The people rejoice. And you can't say the righteous in authority. Who rejoicing right now? I don't give a damn how much money. Oh, the people got the most money up in Hollywood, the most. They often they want to commit a suicide. They depressed. They use Instagram as somewhat of a replica lenses of life where they can view themselves in such a way. But in reality, they fucked up. Kylie Jenner, some psychos, man. Hey, this nigga, what's his name? The Focus. In reality, you just got a big bag of Doritos, man, watching TV, you know? It ain't what it seems. Just go ahead.
It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Yep, see, go ahead.
But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
See, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. See that? Yep. Which goes back, hold that Song of Solomon. Let's go back to this article.
This is seasonal affective disorder.
Uh-huh.
It said it's a form of depression.
See, a form of depression. Let's read that again, man. You see how everything makes sense, man? You see how everything makes sense? But it requires you to have your eyes open. Give a damn if you don't see. If you don't see, that means we clearly know your eyes ain't open, man. Like we're gonna question ourselves because you don't see it. Right? But the scriptures say when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Meaning there's a season that brings mourning. There's a season that brings depression. And we reading it right here on the physical level. Let's go there again from the top.
It says seasonal affective disorder.
Which that's an acronym for SAD. Right? Go ahead.
It's a form of depression, also known as SAD.
Mm-hmm.
It says seasonal depression or winter depression.
Or what?
Winter depression.
See, or winter depression. Now let's get the scripture.
Yep, this is Song of Solomon 2:10. 11, like it. Song of Solomon 2:11. It said, for lo, the winter is past.
See, the winter is past, right? Go ahead.
It says the rain is over and gone.
Right, and that's what's going to cause the winter to pass, the missiles. Hey, you ever notice you have ice on the ground? That rain melted, man. Oh, that rain melts it.
Yeah, that's it.
See? Go ahead.
It says, the flowers appear on the earth.
Yep. See? Go ahead.
The time of the singing of the birds is come.
And that's us. We are the birds that singing to let you know that the winter is past. We about to go. You see how bad the Lord is, man? On the physical level, when you know you're about to come out the winter, going to the spring, you start hearing the birds chirping, singing. So he said, oh yeah, we're coming out the winter. That's the same on the spiritual level. This place America is about to pass. Now you see us singing this song. Letting you know we about to go into the spring and summer, man. We about to spring forth into the summer. Go ahead.
It said the time of the singing of the birds is come, and the voice of the turtle is heard in our land.
See that? So just like on a physical level, there's signs and effects and wonders that gives you a gauge, if you will, to where you at in relation to the transition of that particular season, man. It's the same in the spirit. Obviously, we're in the winter in the spirit, man. Okay? This is the deep depression part of the seasons. And why? Because the so-called white man is power. Let's go back to that. The information. Did you want to read something out of that?
Somebody that said.
Yeah, did it anything you want to read?
Yeah. I can just jump down just a little bit. It
Okay.
says people with SAD experience mood changes and symptoms similar to depression. It said the symptoms usually occur during the fall and winter months when there is less sunlight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It said when there is less sunlight and usually approved with the arrival of spring.
Woo!
Yeah.
So the arrival of spring is what's going to be the mark, if you will, of this season passing away. Okay? So that was it. All right, you got something?
Yeah, kind of just going back to us singing. This Isaiah 1 and verse 11. It says, "For as the earth bringeth forth her bud, and as the garden causes the things that are."
See that? Is it making sense now? You see everything is set up in seasons. We're in a time now where life is beginning to show itself on the planet Earth. All right? The spirit of death and lies and falsehood and war and bloodshed has ran its course, which is the winter. We coming out of that. All right? But again, you notice as winter progresses, it gets colder and colder. It gets colder. It starts off, bearable, but it gets some point where it gets damn near unbearable, man. Oh, well, you need a coat. You need to be heavily. You really need this knowledge, man, to cover you. Go ahead.
It says, "For as the earth bringeth forth her bud, and as the garden causes the things that are sown in it to spring forth, so the Lord power will cause the righteous in praise to spring forth before all nations."
See that's what happened. These different camps springing forth, this word springing forth in itself is a sign. It's a sign, is an effect, is a wonder that now we about to go into another phase. That's all what's happening, man. And that's why the common theme is what we waiting on these things to happen, man. We need all hell to break loose. Why? Because that's going to usher in that new regime, that new season, man. Okay? So now let's go back to what we was at, Ecclesiastes 3.
Ecclesiastes 3:1. It said, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heavens."
Which is what? The planet Earth. So there's everything is seasonal on the planet Earth, and that includes rulerships. And again, when it goes into the tangible perspective, if you will, when viewing seasons, there's always a sign to show you that you're about to change out of a certain season, man. Across the board. When you're about to go into the summer, it shows you that you're about to head to the summer. When you're about to go into the winter, that's the fall. And that happened to us as a people, man. Again, when you read 2 Thessalonians, we fell away as a people. That was the season. It was a fall. Then that ended up being a depression time after that. But now we're in the time, that season. Hey, it shows you, man, the Lord is out there, man. And everything is really a teaching moment if you're paying attention, man. All right, you got something?
Real quick. Psalm 75, verse 7. It says, "But the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another."
Yep, I love Minister West Cole. That's bad. Yeah. Read that again.
Psalm 75 and 7. "But the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another."
Yeah, that's what you're witnessing, man. Okay, we about to go into a time where he who is exalted, which would be the so-called white man. You got niggas talking about jacket and crazy shit, man. You got some guys that saying the Arabs is Esau. Get the fuck out of here, man. The height of an Arab, just on the nigga working at a gas, Come on. You got something?
One real point. Summer and winter can coexist at the same time because they two different extremes, Yeah.
It can't. Now, the reason why you see a cold day and it feel like the summer now is because Esau is in power. Scriptures tell you about how turning things upside down. Okay? So that's the only reason, because everything is thrown off a track, if you will. But you're right. Those are two extremes. The winter and the summer. Those are two extremes. All right. And that's another thing. That's why you see Jake. They trying to like HOI. They're trying to set up a system in America. Yeah. That's a form of you trying to wear a tank top in the winter, man. You out of season. You don't know what season you in. This is so-called white man's rulership, man. That's why it's patience. That's why you gotta have patience. You gotta wait for the seasons to change, man.
That's it.
You can't force it. You know what I mean? You got the top drop. Nigga, wait till the summer, man. Yeah, go ahead.
It said to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die.
Right, so the scripture's going into it. You don't die. You know, it's not you born and you die at the same. It's a certain time. Okay, let's say you might say, well, hold on, what about stillbirth? Nope, they was born first. You know, or should I say not stillbirth because they died in the womb. Mm-hmm. But you know, like someone who died at an early age. Guess what? They was born first, man. Mm-hmm. You know, then ultimately they died. All right. In the case of someone who died in the womb, they never was born. Right. So that's still death. They didn't never experience. So it's still a contrast. Go ahead.
It said a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Right. That was a time where America was planted. Right. And there's also a time where this place is going to be plucked up. Go ahead.
It said a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up.
Yep.
A time to weep and a time to laugh.
Yeah, we're not in a time to laugh. Yeah, we we have a genuine chuckle here and there, right? But overall, this is not the time for us to rejoice. This is not the time for when the scriptures say we rejoice. You know, that's really going into the work, man. This is how you rejoice. This is how you sing. Okay? But other than that, this is not our rest. Again, the seasonal disorder, what it was, the seasonal
affective disorder.
Affective disorder. Sad. And that's usually the case. In the winter, that's not the time when you looking forward to having a cookout. You know, you got the what they call it with the kids jumping the moonwalk.
Yeah.
You don't see them in the winter, man. Why? Because it's a season. That's not the season. Go ahead.
It says a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together.
But that was the time where Israel was cast away. Now we're in the time where there's a gathering of these stones. Go ahead.
It says a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. You notice these are major extremes here. These are major contrasts. You know? What is this meaning? Well, what you have come into is the true teachings of the Bible, man. All right? If you want to be edified, just sit back and learn. Right? Go ahead. It says a time to keep silence and a time to speak. Yeah. It's a time to keep silent, time to speak. If you want to learn, that's the time to keep silent. Right? Go ahead. It's a time to love and a time to hate. Right. We're not in a time of love. This is the time of hate. You see the demonization. You see the rhetoric that's going forth. There go again, the so-called black Hebrew Israelites being thrust out there in the forefront, man. You know? This is that time. We're in the time of hate. Oh, and that shows right there the perfection of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Got a lot of people and their perception of our Lord is that he's only geared towards one emotion. That's love. No, man. That would disqualify our Lord from being perfect. So now we're in a time of what? Hate, man. Hey, you know, if you notice, scriptures say, consider the beast of the field. You know, because the beast of the field give you, you know, they kind of give you they give you a gauge, if you will. Now, deers don't just sit around and graze all year. It's a time you look at the footage, they running for their damn life, man. But you see the extreme. 1 minute is peaceful. They eating and grazing. It's chilling. Then you look at it again, you turn it on, you wait to go into commercial, and that is same deer running for his damn life. That's the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. See? Go ahead. God, it says a time of love and a time of hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Okay, that's a question right here. It's a question. So those camps that are setting up their own Israelite communities and storing food should not be doing so. I mean, yo, man. Matter of fact, let's get a precept on that. Give me be it one that be it sales. Yeah, because bro, you know that's like a carnal approach. The scriptures tell you to wait ye on the Lord, man.
This is not your rest. That's the scriptures, bro. You can't coexist with your enemy. Hey, that's equivalent to having a bid in jail, and you just make that cell your home. Yep. You go to the warden. Hey, what can I do to just make this mine? When your mentality should be, I want to be free. Okay. Oh, Salaki, is that a sister right there? That's a brother, right?
I think
that's a brother.
You
got a goatee. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Dawud talking about somebody else right there. But I believe what his name, Mazrel Yashar. I think that's a brother. Okay.
I got a quick
precept. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Precept. This is Ezekiel 11:2.
Oh, that's a brother right there. Okay, okay. All right, the water. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Ezekiel 11:2. It said, then said he unto me, son of man, these are the men that devise mischief and give wicked counsel in this city, which say it is not near. Let us build houses.
See, let us build houses. Go ahead.
This city is the Kadron, and we will be the flesh.
See that? So they want to. The Kadron is the pot, and they want to be the flesh, meaning they want to become acclimated into America. That's not the right spirit to be in. So if that's your, and I'm not talking about that brother, but these different groups that's looking to build here in America, that's off. That's out of season. That's equivalent again to coming out the house in a wife beater and shorts and sandals, and it's 30 degrees outside. That's not the season for that. You got something?
Here, real quick. Matthew 6:19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal.
Yep. Good. Yep.
It says, but lay up yourselves treasures in heaven.
That's what you should be looking forward to, the kingdom of heaven. That's when you lay up. That's when you relax, right? Not here in your captivity. Go ahead.
It says, where neither the moth nor rust does corrupt, and where thieves do not break through and steal.
Yeah, and another thing too, when you judge matters, when you come into situations like this, where you can narrow that answer down, but really it's more of a broad thing. It's a lot of levels to why that's off, because you're really not conditioning the minds of the brothers and the believers. To have a sense of urgency. You remember, bro, I don't know if you hip to this, but when you go into the first Passover, we ate in haste. We ate girded up with our boots strapped. And why? Because we was coming out of Egypt. You notice the rallying cry in Egypt was not to chill. It was to get up out of there. Okay? So a lot of them groups right there, they cause you to fall back to sleep. We're in a time where the Lord is waking us up and telling us, let's go. Oh, you remember Peter? When Peter was in prison, what happened? The angel smote him and told him to wake up. Let's go. Right? Yep. So you can get what you got. One more.
This second Exodus 16, and
that's it right there with the brother Dawud got.
Second 16 and 40. It said, "Oh my people, hear my words."
See, oh my people, hear my words. Go ahead.
Make you ready to thy battle.
See, make you ready to thy battle. Oh, that's another thing. In the winter, you tend to go to sleep. You want to lay it down in the winter. But that's the time when them devils usually come after you. Oh, when you go into the Trail of Tears, okay? You had the Battle of Octavius or some shit like that in the ancient Romans. Oh, you had Hannibal. Remember that? All that was in the in the winter. That's how Esau like to come after you in the winter, man. So this is the time of battle. So we have to be up. We have to be ready to go. See, go ahead.
It said, in those evils.
In those evils, when you go into the word evil, it means bad times. Go ahead.
Be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Be even as pilgrims. A pilgrim is not one that settles. A pilgrim is not one that becomes acclimated. In fact, a pilgrim is ready to go at any, at the drop of a dime. Or in the spirit, we just talk about that. Like you notice throughout the camps, you see certain brothers with book bags on. That's a portrait of the Lord. That's giving you, an image of what spirit you should be in. Not settling. Right, go ahead.
It said, he that selleth, let him be as one that fleeth away, and he that boweth as one that will lose. He that occupy merchandise as he that have no profit by it.
Meaning you should not put no stock into whatever you into. This is temporal. This stay here in America is temporal. and you can lure someone to sleep, especially, it's really an irresponsible approach. You know, for the brother who asked the question, you see these heads, these self-proclaimed leaders, they push out the narrative of, you know, building in America. That's irresponsible, man. You got Jake out there that don't know no better, man. You got to get their minds right for the judgment that the Lord has prepared. See, go ahead. Here it is. You telling them to relax, and the Lord finna bring drama. Go ahead.
It said, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he should not reap. Also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they that get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers, and therefore they that labor in vain.
Right, so you should put what's the moral of the story? To not put stock into nothing here in America, man. It tells you that in Micah, did you have that? That's spirit.
This is the book of Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
Yep, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Okay? For that Art Dust, that kind of already sounded like some, I'm just being honest. I'm gonna be fair with you. You ask a question, I'll give you the answer. What you had just come into is the true teachings of the Bible. So if you believe in the Bible, this is where you want to be. All right? And if you sincere, sit back and learn. All right, come on.
Come. It says, arise and depart, for this is not your rest.
Come back now, man.
It's like my life in Pakistan.
Oh man.
Box or something.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, arise and depart, for this is not your rest.
See, the scriptures encourages you to arise and depart, for this is not your rest. And that's the spirit. It's going into his question is going into this very lesson. Okay? Because in the winter, what tends to happen, you tend to lose your edge. You know, you kind of want to, you know, lay back and you're in a compromised position. You're under the damn blanket and motherfuckers coming in with the military. Right? Go ahead.
Come. It says, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
Yep, so this place is polluted. So we are to arise and depart from it, not to become aligned and associated with it. This place, America, is wicked, man. You don't want to have this overtone of, you know, of being an Israelite in America. And that's been a problem with a lot of Jake. They want to be Israelites in America. As long as they can have fringes on their t-shirts and go to the wing spot, they cool. Esau can be ruling over them. See, no, that's not what we into over here. Our thing is ruling, man. We want to take our enemies and we want to rule over them. We want to enjoy the promises promised by our Lord, man. What's that? Revelation, the 2nd chapter. We should beat our enemies, man. All right, so let's go back to what we was at.
You want to go back to St. Matthew 24 now?
Yeah, Con. That was what we had.
Yeah, that was it on that second.
Okay, Con. All right, let's go back.
All right, Con. St. Matthew 24:3. It said, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came up to him privately, saying, "Tell us, when shall these things be?" Yep,
when shall these things be? Go ahead.
And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
And of the end of the world. Now, for those of you who are in the know, that word "end" is synonymous with Esau. Matter of fact, get that. 2nd Ezra. Yep, you got it? Yep. That's spirit. Go ahead.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra 6 and verse 7. It says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? But when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followed?
Yep, go ahead.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world.
See, for Esau is the end of the world. See that? Go ahead.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followed.
Right. So you see what Esau is in the same breath with the end. So Esau, the very essence of which Esau is the so-called white man. That's his biblical nationality. Where the very essence of this man, what his existence captures, is the end. Okay, when this man was said to come on the scene and rule right here, right, in relation to prophecy, it would be the end. See that? All right, so let's go.
God, St. Matthew 24:4, it said, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Yahushua, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars.
So the Lord is being a meteorologist right here. You know, he's telling you straight up what to look for in this changing of the seasons. You're going to see wars and rumors of war. It is not that happening, man. It's not these other nations. Man, going back, 5 years, you had, remember Kim Jong-un test firing ICBM missiles. Pakistan, man. Oh, that's the spirit of God. He came on that. He ride for Pakistan. Elon. You know? He might be the manager of T-Mobile, man. But he pretty much was saying that. You know, Pakistan. But Pakistan was even flexing their muscle with ICBMs. They got missiles, man. That's Joel the 3rd chapter. Let the weak say I'm strong. So now there's rumors of wars, man. Okay, that's the very lining, if you will. Okay, of news, breaking news. Russia, remember they came out. That was the talk. You had the hypersonic missiles. Yep. You had Russia. What they call it? Satan. Yeah, Satan 1, Satan 2. That's wars and rumors of wars, man. Like, you had the tension brewing out there in the China Sea, and that's the scriptures being spot on. That's your Holy Shot prophesying, man. Go ahead.
It said, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Right, yeah. Give me that real quick in Isaiah. Is it?
What it say?
Jeremiah said you should hear a rumor.
Oh, yeah, kind.
Right, the scriptures say you should hear wars and rumors of wars, but be ye not moved by these things, because the end is not yet. And that we have witnessed that, man. Well, you hear some, you say, oh shit, we right at the end. But you know what? The Lord made good on what he said. It all died down. See, go ahead,
Jeremiah 51:46.
That's it.
It said, unless your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land.
Yep, and what's one of those rumors? Wars, man. Go ahead.
A rumor shall both come 1 year.
Right, so that was times where it was a year where you heard, oh shit, Russia is testing these intercontinental missiles, North Korea, and these different superpowers out there, right? But that was a rumor of war being heard in 1 year. Read it again.
It says, a rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that, in another year, shall a rumor come. Shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler.
Ruler against ruler. That's going into World War III. All right.
Make a point real quick. Like I said, the end is not yet. Like Brother Ryan, he brought out that's like the main card on the fight and shit.
Yeah.
You're gonna talk about the heavyweight championship match throughout the whole fight, man, until that time comes, man.
That's it. It's scoffing, man. We want to know that, bro. That's a good question. How the fuck did you get here, man? Just popped up. You having a business meeting, some nigga pop up. You know what I mean? He clearly shouldn't be there, man.
Yeah.
Get him out of there, man. You see them names like that? Like some nigga on Call of Duty, Yep, go ahead.
This bag
you got Pokemon,
Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards and shit, man. Go back to that, man. You're right. You shouldn't be there, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's St. Matthew 24:6 again. It says, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
But the end is not yet. So the end of what? The end of this season. You know what? I think that's noteworthy. Give me first. We've been quoting it. Get 1 John 2. You got something? So it said the end is not yet. The end of what? The end of the so-called white man's reign of terror. Okay? Which is framed by a certain season that he will rule. And on a tangible level, it would coincide with the winter. See? So it wasn't a coincidence why our Lord Yahweh made that statement. Pray that your flight be not in the winter. Go ahead.
1 John 2:15, it said, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
What world? The world of Esau, the world of the so-called white man. This is a world of his own. Okay? Because you have a lot of people out there, when they come across the word world and their ignorance, they shrink it down to just the planet Earth. No, that word have multiple meanings, man. That's why you have, for an example, somebody might say, this is the world of hip-hop I've just been exposed to. Well, it's no different than rulerships. Okay? You have a world of the so-called white man. Right? The mere fact that you got a microwave, that's the world of Esau. Esau holding Hiding the scoffers. I didn't see it. Yeah, you see that? That might be yeah, that could be very well could be Bars. That could be Marty, man. The nigga, and actually he still got on the lab coat. On the damn coming board, man. Yeah, go. But he not gonna escape, you know. Y'all gonna get him. Yeah, go ahead.
It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
See, that means this understanding. The love of the Father is this understanding. So if you truly have this understanding, the love of the Father not in you. Oh, and it goes back to the question the brother made about those guys who look to build hit America. The love of the Father is not in you. You don't really know what this truth is about if you're in that spirit. See, go ahead.
It said, and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abide forever.
Yep, see that? So this world passeth. Go ahead.
I skipped the verse. It said, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. You
know what that's really going into? What's everybody doing here in this country? Looking at their phones, and they usually looking at social media. That consists of what? The lust of the flesh, because you lusting after what you see carnally, right? It says what?
The lust of the eyes.
The lust of the eyes. Your eyes glued to a nigga on Instagram or Twitter, right? Go ahead.
And the pride of life.
And the pride of life. You can't even get on these social media sites without displaying pride. You're not gonna be on there humble in sackcloth. Motherfuckers on there with money, you know, posing and shit. That's the pride of life. See, go ahead.
It said, it is not of the Father, but it's of the world.
Of the world, see? And that's dealing with this current world. Hey, the scriptures are spot on, man. Scriptures are giving you a play-by-play on life and existence. Current events can be filtered through what we read here. Right? Go ahead.
It said, and the world passeth away.
And this world passeth away, just like seasons. Not seasons pass. Okay, the seasons is passing, man. This world is passing. Why would you put stock into it's like, again, let's try to simplify this. Why would you continue to buy coats and boots when the summer coming, man? You know what I'm saying? You're buying coats and, you know, scullies and shit like that, gloves forever. That means you're not anticipating the changing of the seasons, man. See, go ahead.
And the world passed away.
Oh, that's bad. I didn't know that. Wintertime. You know what? Oh, I know that. Oh, that's bad, bro. That's good insight. Wintertime, that's when Esau started hunting. Because they do have seasons for hunting. Yeah, that's bad right there. Yeah, go ahead.
It said, and the world passed away, and the lust thereof.
Yep.
But he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever.
See, he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. Meaning what? You're going to qualify for the kingdom. All right? And that's a perpetual kingdom. See that? Yeah. So, have you heard something? That's why the scriptures say, too, the sun will not fall on Israel again. You know, because it's going to be a perpetual, or I guess January when the hunting season starts. See that? See? The winter. All right? You got something?
Yeah, real quick. Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Yep.
That ye may prove what is good, that acceptable and perfect will of the Most High.
Right, so you have to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Okay, this doesn't mean we're going to just physically leave America. There's no way you can escape. You know what proved that? I think that's Psalms 8, if I'm not mistaken, where King David said, if I go to the...
hell.
If I go into hell, you are there. If I go into the heavens, you are there. You can't escape from Yahweh Shema Shah. So you have to wait on the Lord to justify. Oh, that's in the book of Micah as well. I will suffer I will bear the indignation of the Lord until you plead my case, man. Yep, go ahead. That was it on that? All right, so let me go back.
St. Matthew 24:7, it said, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines.
So this is the Lord giving you the signs, the effects and wonders of what's going to come to pass during the changing of this God. Remember, we read right here the signs of the end. When you read Matthew the 24th chapter in its entirety, starting around the 3rd verse, okay? This is going to the time we're in now. Go ahead.
It says, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse
places. And a famine is coming. There's a famine coming, man. And you see, that links up with seasons. It's not a famine, a seasonal thing, because if you don't do what you got to do in the time of, not the harvest, but the time of sowing, right? Then, or the harvest, then now you can't reap. Which usually is around the winter. You plant at a certain time, then you pluck up that was planted, around a certain season. See, go ahead.
It said all these
droughts usually come in the winter. I mean, like as far as like famines, that's because you didn't put in the work in the time of harvest. Go ahead.
It said all these are the beginning of sorrow. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
And you see that too. You can see that coming because we mentioned it briefly. What's going on up there in Philadelphia? And you see again, you got the so-called Black Hebrew Israelites thrust into the forefront. So you're going to have certain of those out there, and not just here at Great Millstone. You have a lot of brothers at Great Millstone for the most part, which we believe through the Spirit, the Church of Philadelphia is going to escape those plagues. But you're going to have other Israelite groups out there, such as the group we just mentioned. The way they got to earn their crown, they're going to have to go through more. Okay, just throwing that out there. But any of you out there, you guys out there don't see the seriousness of this, you're just a casual Israelite, well, you're going to be faced with those dilemmas, man. Because you know what? You're going to be called out for your belief. You got to remember, you got the red list, the blue list, and these devils is monitoring who are watching these videos. They're monitoring your playlist or whatever. Yep, go ahead up.
It says, and then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many.
Yeah, and you see that again, man, with these, especially amongst Israel. We ain't got to mention these, like T.D. Jakes or Joel Osteen. We ain't got to mention them, man. Just the average person out there know that Stevie Wonder can see them niggas. We talking about those amongst you self-proclaimed leaders in Israel, man. You're going to be found out to be liars. Especially those amongst you who are not warned in Israel, man, about the chip, the mark of the beast, right? And the drama that's set to befall the planet Earth. You would be considered false prophets. Go ahead, Al.
It said, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Oh, that word cold. Why? Because you're in the winter, man. Right? Go ahead.
It says, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
And that's a heavy line because there's a clause in the contract. You got a lot of men that came in this thing and they think they past works is going to suffice. Yahweh Shema Shah. Somehow you're going to pacify the Lord's anger because you did some shit back in 2012, man. No, you got to endure to the end. That's what the Lord requires of you, man. That's why you see the brothers constantly pushing forth this word. And there's more of an emphasis now to push forth this word rapidly, every day. The Elder Menachos Bob mentioned that, how we in the temple every day now. Doing the work. Oh, that proves too, the Lord about to get ready to draw this word back, man. There's plenty of scriptures to support that. Go ahead, Al.
It said, and this gospel.
Oh, and this gospel, I mean, that's a particular gospel. That's why you have people to come in. What is this about? You know? Because they never seen such a thing. The gospel being taught with authority, man. There's a matter of factness, if you will, about how this word is being pushed forth. It's not in the traditional sense. You got this timid nigga with a Bible, man. No, we telling you, man, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah is about to bring the drama. Go ahead, Al.
It said, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
They go to chronological order, man. When the Lord raised up the apostles going back to 2007, this word began to be pushed forth, right? Even to this very moment. That was the chronological order. The Lord said his word will go forth, then the end shall come. Right? Go ahead.
It said,
and we read that in Song of Solomon. When you hear the birds start chirping, that's when you know the winter gonna pass. Come on, man. Go ahead.
It said, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken by Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand.
Go ahead.
Then let him which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is in the housetop not come down and take anything out of his house.
And the Lord was actually prophesying about what was about to happen in that time. But this could be applied to the day. Hold that again, Romans 15. You got something?
No, I had something bag up there. Prophets coming out.
Okay, come.
It's on Jeremiah 28:8. It says the prophets that have been before me and before thee above.
And that proves Yahweh Shai, what we saying right here.
That's it.
Yahweh Shai was a prophet that was before us. Okay, it said the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old. Go ahead.
Prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Yeah, of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that word evil goes back really to seasons. So we the spiritual weathermen. We telling you what season you're in. We telling you to grab a coat. Matter of fact, give me Ephesians. I think there's Ephesians 5. Is that Ephesians 5 and 14? Let me make sure. Give me that real quick. I know it's Ephesians 5.
Wait.
Hold on.
What does it say?
Yep. You know what? You can start right there.
Ephesians
You can
5.
start at 14 and we'll jump down.
God, Ephesians 5 and 14. It said, wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahweh shall give thee light. See then ye walk circumspectly.
Yeah, see then ye walk circumspectly, man. That word circumspectly means to look around. Circle means around, and spec means to see. So the scripture says, see that you be circumspect. Okay, go ahead.
See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools.
Whoa, see, not as fools. Again, proving that this thing, the very setting of return to Yahweh Shai is to gain knowledge, man, and wisdom. And not just conventional understanding, but the proper knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of these scriptures, which really falls under the banner of prophecy, man. You can know precepts, but if you're not into the prophecies, what good is that for you? How that's going to benefit you? You don't know that the chip coming, but you can quote precepts, man. That's not going to benefit you, man. See, go ahead, Up.
It said, not as fools.
See, not as fools. Go ahead.
But as wise.
As wise. Wise what? Concerning the prophecies. Go ahead.
Redeeming the time.
Ooh, redeeming the time. See?
Because
well,
the days are evil.
Because the days of evil. You got to know what time you're in. Matter of fact, you want to look up a couple of them words. Probably redeemer or time. See what it give you out of that. We'll get ready to start winding down in the spirit. But the point is, we about to go into some heavy times, man. Okay? And we just gonna tell your ass, if you ain't got the spirit on you to hearken, you know, and to yield to the words of Yahweh Shai, that's on you, man. Scriptures tell you with the instruction, the importance of instruction, man. Instruction saves your life. Proverbs the 2nd chapter. It tells you that wisdom shall preserve thee, and discretion shall keep thee. You got something?
Yeah, come.
Back
on the redeeming the time.
Yep.
2 Ezra 9 verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
Yeah, you shouldn't just be going with you're just going through the motions, man. You should be checking out what's going on, man. You claim to be an Israelite, you claim to have this understanding, you should know perfectly well what season you in. Yep, go ahead.
It says, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, it says, then thou shalt understand that it's the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
And what's the key word there? Understand. All right. Yep, just forget about it.
God.
Yep, go ahead.
There's that word redeeming. It says to buy up, figuratively, to rescue from loss, improve opportunity. It says to redeem.
Yep, that's the thing. Yeah, you got to take advantage of the opportunity. This is an opportunity for life. You know, you got to take advantage of what time you in, man. Hey, imagine those spirits back then that they would only hearken to what Noah was going into. That would mean they would have redeemed the time, and they would have counted. Everything would have fared well for them. But as it were, they didn't redeem the time, and they fell victim to the judgment of Yahweh Shemel Shah, which came in the form of that flood. Go ahead.
It says, by payment of a price to recover from the power of another, to ransom, buy off. It says, metaphor of Yahweh Shah, freeing the elect
Ooh, read that again.
It says of Yahushua freeing the elect from the dominion of the Mosaic law at the price of his vicarious death to buy up for oneself, for one's use.
Well, they try to flip it about to talk about freeing from the Mosaic law.
Yeah.
Like that was such of a burden, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No, man, we're gonna keep the law again, man. The law is good. It tells you that in I think that's Romans 8, where it said the law is law. It said the law is spiritual, but I'm sold to carnality or something like that. And it also tell when you're in the right spirit and you acknowledge that you're going off, you're acknowledging that the law is good. The law is right.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't like the law just freeing us. Like that's a burden. Like the Most High got it wrong with the laws. No, man. We gonna keep the laws in the kingdom.
That's it.
Right? Yep, go ahead.
It says to make wise and sacred use of every opportunity.
Woo! To make wise and make use of every opportunity. This the opportunity now.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just something as subtle as you studying more, you being more tuned into the live streams, you being fed. All right. Hey, you might just be a helper. You might find a camp out there in your city. You might take brothers' water or help out with whatever strength you can bring. That's taking advantage of this opportunity, man. Mm-hmm. You don't never want to go back after this thing dry up. It tells you in Ezekiel the 3rd chapter that the Lord is we're not going to continue to be a reprover to you. Imagine that. You're not going to be able to see your teachers when all hell break loose, man. Mm-hmm. Guess what? In that event, you want to, in your mind and your conscience, say you did everything, man, that you could do. You seized the moment. You took advantage of this opportunity. See, go ahead.
That was pretty much.
That was it. Okay, go ahead.
I got that word time.
That's another one. Yeah, go ahead.
It's that word time.
So redeeming the time. Go ahead.
It says do measure.
Ooh, well, you just read it. Measure the time. Do measure. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
A measure of time.
Mm-hmm. It
said a fixed and definite time. It said the time when things are brought to crisis.
Mm.
The decisive epoch waited for. Let me see that word epoch.
Because times is actually just just evaluating that word at face value. It really goes into season. Yep. That's why when you read I think we brought it out earlier. 2nd Ezra 6, I believe it said, which shall be the part of Daniel too. Okay. You change the times and seasons. So times and seasons is actually the same word. Ecclesiastes the 3rd chapter as well. Yep, go ahead. Oh, you had something?
Quick precept while you're getting it. Mm-hmm. Here's the book of 2nd Ezra 4 and verse 7. It says, by measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times. He doth not move nor stir them.
Meaning what? Once the Lord set up whatever particular regime to rule, he's not going to stir you. He's going to let you rule. Go ahead.
Until the said measure.
Until you run your course. Until the said measure. Go ahead.
Be fulfilled.
Be fulfilled. So the so-called white man has a certain time where he's going to run his course, and that's it. That's over. The Lord's going to cast this man down. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so this is that word epoch, and it says the beginning of a distinctive period in the history of someone or something.
Oh man, and well, that's the scriptures.
Yeah,
that goes back to plenty of scriptures. Ecclesiastes 1 and 4. The one generation passes, which when you go into the word generation is going to season or time or age, a period of time. So that, hey, when you really come in, that's why, what's the overtone in Yahushua's ministry, man? The mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, meaning you develop a ruling class mentality. This is a crash course for kings. When you read the scriptures with understanding, what you find out that is based upon biblical timelines. That highlight and spotlight the rise and fall of the kingdom. That's all it's about. And what we teaching here is the next kingdom to come into power. That's it. It's going to be at the expense of another kingdom falling. Just like when they came into power, it was at the expense of the fall of Israel. Right? Yeah, come on.
All right, going back to this word time. It says opportune or seasonable time.
Woo, or what?
Seasonable time.
Seasonable time, man. Which right now we would be in the winter. Okay, so you can go back there.
Ephesians 5 and 16. It says redeeming the time because the days are evil.
See, because the days are evil. Read, keep continuing.
All right, Con. It says, Wherefore be ye not unwise.
Be ye not unwise, understanding what season you in. Again, that's a fool, man. Oh, even the flip side, it's 90 degrees, and there's a guy with a coat, an overcoat, and Timberlands. Yeah. Hey, that's the spirit, man. What's going to happen, man? You're going to say that dude crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because he's clearly out of season. Yeah. He's not dressed for the occasion, man.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Yep. It says, wherefore be ye not unwise.
Be ye not unwise. Go ahead.
But understanding what the will of the Lord is.
And what's the will of Yahweh Shema to return to him, man? And it's not just pacing back and forth in the house. I love you, Lord. No, you got to get into this. Whatever your lot might be. Your lot might be one of whom come and listen and learn. You know, you might not be a prophet. You know, Apostle, how you go into that? Like Joseph, it was great men they just weren't prophets, man. They might have was acknowledged in the scriptures, but they weren't prophets. You're going to have that today. You're going to have certain brothers that believe, sisters that believe, and then you believe. Because the scriptures tell you to continue in the things that thou hast learned. Matter of fact, give me that in 1 Timothy.
Yeah.
Let's get that real quick.
So that's part of the body. The body ain't got a mouth with no ears on it.
Yep. The body ain't compiled of all mouths. You got hands, and you actually got ears. So we don't just teach. It's not just falling on deaf ears. We're not just teaching. The Lord gave us an audience. So you're going to have believers. And your job is to believe. That's a law. That's in Romans, the 3rd chapter. All right, go ahead.
Kind of 1 Timothy 4:16. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine.
Yeah, so that is concerning the teachers. We ought to take heed unto ourselves and to the doctrine. You know, there's a way you got to be delicate with this word. You got to teach it rightfully. You got to rightfully divide the word of the Lord. You got to take heed to what you teach, right? Go ahead.
Continue in them.
Continue in them. Go ahead.
For in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee.
And them that hear thee. So you got those that were set up to hear this word. And that's going to be counted as righteousness for you in the eyes of the Lord. So now, what's the will of the Lord? For you to believe that that's your lot, and for you to teach this word if that's your lot. You can't draw back. Here it is. You was teaching a couple of years ago. Now you just kicking it. You ain't really pushing forth the word, man. Right? You got something?
Yeah, real quick. It's 2 Chronicles 20 and verse 20. It says, and they rose early in the morning and went forth in the wilderness of Tekoa. And they went forth, and Jehoshaphat stood and said, hear me, O Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem. Believe in the Lord your power, so shall ye be established.
Now, how do you believe in the Lord your power? Continue.
Believe his prophets.
Believe what?
Believe his prophets.
Believe his prophets. Go ahead.
So shall ye prosper.
So shall ye prosper. All right, so let's go back here.
Kind
of, 24.
Oh yeah, kind of. All right, St. Matthew 24 and in verse, so like it's St. Matthew 24 and I just started at 14 again. I think I'm starting 14 again. It said, "In this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations."
And you know what? You was you was at the 16th verse.
Okay, kind. All right. So like this is St. Matthew 24 and 16. It said, "Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house."
Now, what's the moral of the story right there? There's going to not being attached to whatever you was into, man. There's a certain spirit that has to overwhelm you in this hour. You got to be as a pilgrim. Can't be looking back, have anything of sentimental value, if you will, that's a part of this world. Okay? Now, we know that our Lord Yahweh was physically speaking about what happened in the 70 AD. That was a time when you had to just go. You had to run. This applies to this very day, man. Right? Go, you got something?
Yeah, kind of. This St. Luke 17, and I started 31. It said, "In that day, he which shall be upon the housetop and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. And he that is in the field, let him likewise not return back. Remember Lot's wife."
Yep, remember Lot's wife. One of the brothers just put that up there, man. Remember Lot's wife. And what was Lot's wife and her offense? She looked back. And that's what these guys who building up these communities, you're in the spirit of Lot's wife. You know,
Yep.
you have somewhat of a sentimental value to America, man. Whereas we almost out of here.
That's it.
You know, we almost home. The elder Kazak, he posted that. We almost home, man. Hey, we almost are we there yet? That's damn near the spirit we in, you know. You got something?
Yeah, real quick. Luke 9:62, and Yahweh said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High.
Now, when you go into that right there, and when it say that's looking back, you know what that's really going to? Not prophesying. Because what it means to prophesy, to look forward. So by default, you know, the Lord deal with extremes. It's one way or the other. So if you're not looking forward, if you're not prophesying, in essence, you're looking back. See? So yeah, let's go back.
Continue on that. Look, one more verse on that, Luke 17, verse 33. It said, whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it.
Yep.
And whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it.
Yeah, and that's the two. Hey, that's bad because on the one extreme, on the one hand, you got those that seeking to say they like buy acres of land. And you got this dream, you gotta have a vision in your head of seeing goddamn apartments and damn cement being paid. You know what I mean? That means you looking to save your life versus the brothers who looking to get up out of here at any cost. Okay? Whether we have to walk away from everything, which we did already, we walked away from most of everything, man. If we made sacrifice to do what we had to do, why? Because we see the big picture. We see the summer. We're not just spending money on bomber coats and go ahead. We preparing for the summer. Go ahead.
It said, lay him which is on the house, this St. Matthew 24:17 again. It says, lay him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And warn to them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in a winter, neither on a Sabbath day. Yeah,
because when you go into that word flight, it actually goes into escape. So prayer to escape don't be in the winter. But now you got to ask yourself, why did Yahweh make that statement, man? Why did he make that statement? And all of a sudden, we have this momentum of the winter being that targeted time. Where you right now, what's at the door? Let's prove right there that Yahweh Shai is the prophet, man. It's not we're in a time where the vaccinations. You got actually information out there where they saying, look, we're looking to have the vaccinations out there before Thanksgiving. In the winter, all right. They looking for a second lockdown in the winter. They didn't say we're gonna wait till the second lockdown coming to the spring. It's in the winter, man. All right, the winter is a time where you're taken out of your comfort zone, man. Oh, another thing too, what's being projected is these mass evictions. Oh, that has everything to do with biblical prophecy, man. And you see, but the season is wet in the winter. They're expecting that the winter to be the time where all these things come to a head. All right, you got something?
Yeah, an article from The Guardian. It says the bleak COVID winter.
Oh, shit, the what?
The bleak COVID winter.
The bleak COVID winter. Why is those words in there? See, you're gonna see, man, that this is serious business, man, the scriptures, man. Okay? Go ahead.
It says America still not on course to beat the virus.
Yep, but you notice what's the gauge? The winter. So they're not on course to beat the virus, and obviously what it's saying right there, this winter is going to be a very dark one. And if anyone who was here at the beginning of the video, we opened up the clip with the dark winter. Okay, you got something?
The definition of the word bleak, it says lacking in warmth, life.
Ooh, lacking in warmth. Go ahead.
Life or kindness.
Come on, man. Life.
Come on, man. That's bad.
That's bad, man. And that's the same with the winter. We brought out the article, sad. The seasonal, what it is again?
Affective disorder.
Yeah, the seasonal affective disorder, where you actually have those who are being diagnosed with depression in the wintertime. And we brought out the scripture that you can be filtered through Proverbs 29 chapter. When the wicked is in power, the people do more. See? You got something?
I was trying to find that article on the military is known for coming in the winter or something like
Oh,
that.
did you
Did we already read that?
I don't know. Yeah, we might have.
I thought I had it up already.
I got some real quick. Well, unless you got it. Did you have some on the Trail of Tears?
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, Con. When you go to that,
All right.
go to what kind of conditions.
God.
We're gonna see the pattern here with Esau, and it really goes back to Yahweh Shemel Shah. Okay, the winter is not the ideal time for you to kick back. You know, for you to have your guards down, because if the enemy come at that time, then really you messed up. We're gonna get an example of that. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is the life on the Trail of Tears. And it says, what kind of conditions did the Native Americans face on the Trail of Tears?
Yep, go ahead.
It said in the winters.
There you go, right off the bat, in the winters, man. So you think it's a coincidence Yahweh Shai, the wisdom that he had, said, pray that your flight be not in the winter. And that's a whole lot that went with that statement, because that's the Lord giving you the season you in. He's giving you the season to look out for. But also, that's what you should be praying for. Yeah. You should be praying to the Lord that he keep you in this time, man. Right, go ahead.
It said in the winters, it's like in the winters on the trail, it was too cold to hunt for buffalo and deer. So the people in the trail had 2 cups of hot water, cornbread, and only 1 turnip per day.
And that really should get you pissed. Because here it is, they're on their own land. Yeah, they're on their own land where they was eating, they had their own things going, and Esau reduced them. They had 2 cups of hot water. Hey, you had to be cold as hell. You got hot water as the drink. They had 1 turnip, and there was something else.
Cornbread.
And 1 piece of cornbread, man. You fucking Edomites got a lot to pay for, man. But we know that this goes back to Yahweh Shemel Shah. Go ahead.
It says, as a result, many people starved to death.
Yeah, and that's going to happen in this time. See, the winter is a permanent fixture in the realm of the earth. You think all of a sudden this is going to change because you got a laptop? No. When the winter jump off and the Lord bring forth the judgment that's already prepared, you're going to die just like those before you. Oh, and you know that with the natives, what eventually happened, they developed this thing where you gauge, like warriors, if the babies survive through the winter, then they would, I don't know if you knew about that, but you can look it up where babies, not now and then, but the babies that survive through the winter, they end up being stronger.
Yep.
Then they end up being warriors, things like that, man. If the baby was weak or whatever, he wouldn't survive the winter, man. So you see, what the winter is a turning point, man. It's an actual season, and on the spiritual level, it is symbolic to when the so-called white man would be in power, man. Again, the winter represents death. There's no life in the winter. It's cold. It's dark. Go ahead.
It said, as a result, many people starved to death because they can keep up with the proper body weight to be healthy. It said during the winters, the tribe only had.
So you see that's the common thread, man. Go ahead.
It said during the winters, the tribe only had whatever they had brought with them to wear, but that would not be enough for them to wear, as many of them died from the cold winter. During the summer. I think that was pretty much it.
Yeah, go ahead.
It said during the summer, the military men will go out into the open.
Oh yeah. So we showed you through the spirit, you know, from these different angles, these different perspectives. Going back to the natives, the judgment it was in the winter. All right. Going into we mentioned briefly the different like the Romans. Even Esau, even in his modern terms, that's when they come after you in the winter. Oh, I was bringing up something too. I forgot. Remember, I was bringing them dates up. Afghanistan, that was in December. In Syria, that was November. There was another one too. I forgot what the other one. It was in December. It was in the winter. Okay. We briefly touched on when you go into Hannibal. What happened? That was that whole thing was in the winter, man. So what's the moral of the story? The winter is not the ideal time for life. That's the time with death. Matter of fact, can you get I think that's 2 Ezra 5.
1.
And 1.
This book of 2 Ezra chapter 5 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
It said, nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the days shall come.
And that's prophecy. Go ahead.
That they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith.
Now, when scripture said they're going to be taken in great number, you're going to have mass death. So again, winter symbolizes death. When you walk out the house in the winter, you look at a tree, the leaves is gone, man. It's a skeleton. It looked like a skeleton. That would look like a damn skeleton, man. So that's what the winter represents, man. And that's why there's no coincidence that you see this swarming activity, the moment, everything is ramping up as we going into the winter. Okay, so you got something?
Yeah, 2 Ezra 8 verse 50. It says, for many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter time that shall dwell in the earth, because they have walked in great pride.
Mm-hmm. That's dealing with the time we're in now. So the Lord has indeed prepared miseries. It's going to come in the form of the plagues prepared, the said perils, as said, to overtake the planet Earth, primarily right here on the soils of America, Babylon the Great. All right. So again, as we go into this next phase in prophecy, it's going to get interesting, man. You know, you can see that the chip, you can see the mandatory vaccinations. Hey, what Trump said? Trump said, he said heaven will pass away before if you don't get this vaccination out there, man. So, but guess what? That's the spirit of the Lord. Everything is coming to a head. So, with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to our teachers, the head apostles, and the elders, the great millstone. Shalom to the brothers out there laboring in his work. And as always, you believers out there, the Akim as well as the Aqua, that subscribe to this truth as well. Till the next time, Shalom.
Shalom. DTA, Abba.